So hello. Um, Today kind of wanted to go over this one very specific, curious thing that was on my mind at one point. I wrote it down. And I was like, huh, like where did that actually come from? It's one of those questions that come up quite often for me. It's like, where did this come from? What is the history behind it? The question that actually came to me was, why is the rainbow the color of the LGBTQ plus community flag? Um, the thought process behind that is like what relates the rainbow to to the community, if that makes sense. What is the meaning behind it? Like the first thing that comes to mind is maybe it's because they're inclusive of all the colors, and I did a bit of research and I figured this out. So first of all, I was kind of like, was the rainbow flag always the flag for the LGBTQ plus community? Oh, let's just call it. Was the rainbow flag was it always the pride flag? I want to say. And I think it wasn't. First of all, I think before even 1900s, I think there was a period of time where um any kind of alteration from the heterosexual norm wasn't accepted. So then expressiveness of that kind of I guess expression wasn't really allowed. So then I think people just needed to feel themselves. So it wasn't always the flag, but then when people were kind of coming out as gay, there were a few people, and this specific guy called Gilbert Baker. Um, he was an American artist and he was an activist, and he's very well known for designing the initial rainbow flag. Um, Funnily enough, his initial design actually included 8 different colors. If I were to show you guys what the 8 colors looks like, um, one second. I seem to have lost it. But anyways, okay. So the flag actually had 8 colors, and the 8 colors were. I found it. The eight colors were these colors, and this is how the flag was before. And oops, and what was his rationale behind designing the rainbow flag as kind of a flag for gay people to represent gay people, the expression? I think some say that he based the American flag off of the Rolling Stone song "She's a Rainbow," and some say the famous song "Over the Rainbow." But I think he himself hasn't said anything super official. From what I can understand, let me just verify that because I don't want to speak pure nonsense. Yeah, I think one of his friends actually advised him to create the flag, and he was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, um, sounds good." And he was part of he was an openly gay man, and he was part of the gay rights movement, and yeah, I think he had that expression. He wanted to express that expression as well. He also worked on he was part of the military, and he worked on various different things that was probably to do with inclusivity. When I say probably, it was to do with inclusivity and kind of like wanting to be open to all sorts of views. And so he made this flag, but funnily enough, pink fabric was actually quite hard to find during that time in 1978, because the the way the flags were made were they kind of sectioned off the parts of the material fabric, and they put chemical dyes and almost printed printed onto that flag. So the chemical dyes required to produce vibrant and long-lasting pinks were kind of they were expensive, they were scarce, and not in general high demand. So then getting them was quite difficult. Um, so then Bacon decided, you know what, let's do 7 colors. Yep. And then he put this out, and then he kind of thought to himself, this was just before a parade, and he thought to himself, hold on a second, like, this is odd. Like, it's literally odd that there are 7 colors in this flag, and it made his job a lot more difficult. And he was just like, why don't we just drop a color? And just like that, he dropped a color, and I think he dropped turquoise, if I'm not wrong, which then meant that now the flag had 6 colors. So this is kind of where the first official flag actually essentially came from. And he's the man famous for this, in terms of what he looked like. This is what he looked like. Let me just. So yeah, so then if we just go over each of the flags as well, like this is the 7 color version, and this is the 6 color version, and there's also like a lot more flags of different things. So if we actually go to, I think, if we go to history of pride flag and go to the Wikipedia page, because we trust the Wikipedia, and there's a lot of flags, and like it's very interesting to know that there's a specific, like, to me, the philosophical aspect, my own meaning behind it, that there is this piece of cloth with a very specific color and design. And I'm not just saying for pride flags, I'm saying flags in general. Like, that color with another color with a specific design, it's what people resonate with. Like the American flag, a lot of patriots in America resonate with that flag. It's very pertinent. It's very like it's very foundational in people's kind of internal identity. As such, I think like personally, I have the same. It's like the Nepalese flag is very unique, and I abide by its uniqueness. I almost like. I'm very like. It makes me. It fills me with pride when I speak about the Nepalese flag, and when I speak about Nepal, and when I think of the Nepalese flag. And it's very interesting that this piece of cloth that is of a specific shape, of a specific design, invokes that feeling in a lot of people. And the part I find even more interesting is it's kind of like the chicken and egg scenario, where did the flag come first, or did the fact that the flag is actually did the movement come first, as it were, like the Indian flag, where was it made? Let's see if that Indian flag, because I know they gained independence in 1947, but do they actually? So this flag of India was adopted 70. So I think this is near the time of independence, if not the exact independence. And so this flag, this flag is, this flag was It was 78 years ago, and this represents the movement of independence against Britain. There are like multiple variations of this flag, and it's almost like an evolutionary symbol of some sort of independence of people. And like the word flag might be very small. It might it doesn't invoke all of these emotions. But if you go deep into the pride flag, the Indian flag, the Nepalese flag, British flag, American flags, there is a lot of emotion, a lot of history, and everything that's kind of intertwined to come to a point where we have these flags. And in a way, like, these flags actually represent the current state uh, of the world, essentially. Like, this flag could change tomorrow if India divides into two, right? This flag, like the United Kingdom flag, could change into something else, where England be divided into two parts. I don't know, North England and South England. Um, and I think it's very, very interesting that like the flag is almost like a side effect of this current state of the world. But yeah, that was my little rant on, I guess, flags and where the rainbow flag came from, and just flags in general. And I think that my intro was meant to be just about the pride flag, but just flags in general are very, very interesting. With that, bye bye.